To the average onlooker, gymnastics may seem like an extremely dangerous sport, and to be honest, it really is. And for the record, when I say gymnastics here, I'm not necessarily just talking about gymnastics. I'm also talking about like tumbling and cheerleading. Anything that involves you running and throwing your body over itself, doing flips, you know. At its core, every single sport where you're doing flips is kind of similar, so I'm going to be talking about them all the same way here. Yes, gymnastics is extremely dangerous, but the thing about any sport with flips is that as you progress and get better at flips, not only are you getting better at, you know, how many tumbles you can do in a line and how impressive the flips you're doing are, you're also getting better at recognizing where you are in the air and being better at saving yourself in the event that you are messing up. This is called air awareness. So air awareness will, one, help you when it comes to doing flips. It'll help you know where you are so you know when to, you know, open up and when to start twisting and stuff like that. But it'll also help you with knowing when you're fucking up your flip and where you are in your flip so you know what to do when you're messing up. To give an example, if you're doing a backflip and you mess up on your set, so you mess up before basically you even start the flip, then you can say, all right, I'm messing up here. What I'm gonna do to save myself is just let myself go and try to catch myself as I fall onto my back. However, if you're doing a backflip and you mess up, you know, halfway through the flip where you're upside down, if you have good air awareness, you're going to be able to recognize the fact that you're, you know, upside down. So instead of just opening up to try and catch yourself on your back, you'll know, okay, I'm going to try and grab my knees and tuck in tighter so I can ensure that I finish this flip. Recently, I had an instance just like this that happened to me where I was going for a double backflip, and because I was exhausted and I was kind of drilling them at the time, for some reason, I messed up my round off, and instead of getting a nice clean set, my head whipped back, which by the way gave me whiplash, and I was kind of just falling towards my back. But the thing is, my round off had given me enough power that by the time I realized what was going on, I was already about to fall right onto my head. So at that point, just trying to bail and land on my back was not an option. And luckily, with the air awareness that I did have, I was able to recognize that I was upside down and quickly tuck my knees in and save myself just doing a single backflip. Now, this is a good example of how drilling flips constantly will give you the air awareness necessary to save yourself, you know, in that event. And by the way, just to give some context on what you can kind of do in the event that you're falling, it really depends on the flip. So with front flip, if you mess up the flip on your set and you realize that you're messing up on your set, then the best thing you can do is throw your hands out and try to put yourself into a dive roll. If you mess up extremely early on your set, then even just a regular shoulder roll, because a lot of the time if you try to force yourself into a dive roll once you've already jumped and you don't have enough momentum to actually hit the dive roll, it's going to end up worse. If you have not jumped pretty much at all, then just shoulder roll. If you've jumped enough to where you're falling to your face, dive roll. If you mess up after you're done with the flip, then all you really can do is try to continue rotating to your feet. Like say you mess up your tuck halfway through, try to grab your tuck back and rotate to your feet. Landing on your butt's definitely going to be better than landing on your back, in most cases at least. For backflips, if you mess up on your set, then put your hands back, slap your hands on the ground, and roll onto your back. If you mess up halfway through your flip, then your best bet is to just try and tuck your knees in and hope that you make it through. Generally, landing on your knees is going to be a lot better than landing on your head, so I would go for that. And then with side flips, it's kind of different, but for the most part with side flips, no matter where you bail, as long as you don't land right on your tailbone or right on your back, you'll be fine. So that's why I really like side flips. You can bail them at pretty much any point and be fine. So I hope you found that informative. I hope you learned something from it. I hope you will now be able to train in a safer way.